You know what's missing? A podcast about Asian American youth ministry.
Asian American youth ministry, to me, is walking alongside students in that heritage, those who have grown up in those first and second gen contexts, or continue to wrestle with issues and topics of identity and belonging and purpose.
In that way, this podcast is not just for Asian American youth workers, but anybody serving with Asian American students. Whether we're Asian American or not,
I have a story to tell to the wider church. There is uniqueness to being Asian American, which requires thoughtful consideration. How do we believe and how do we teach and how do we apply the gospel in an Asian American context?
Yeah, that's a great topic.
When immigrant parents first come to the States, they are in that survival mode. And yet their kids have actually had the luxury then to not be in survival mode as much as their parents. It's a luxury to think about mental and emotional health when you have to numb yourself as an immigrant to get past that point in order to succeed, quote unquote.
Now K-pop is so popular, they want to turn into Koreans again or something like that. I don't.
We know what it's like to be in exile. We know what it's like to feel like we're not at home.
With Asian American culture, there's definitely more focus on being didactic in teaching rather than relational. A lot more focus on behavior and not getting in trouble than really the state of the heart. I'm looking around and I'm asking, when is your youth fellowship during the week? What day of the week is it on? For me, it's on Friday, and that's different than a midweek fellowship that is typical in American churches. The reason why is because school is king. The kids have to study. The parents will not let the kids come out to do youth fellowship and be at church. It takes away from their time to focus on academics.
And I think we could spend hours on that, seriously.
The differences also in thinking about youth ministry depends on where the other staff were trained, whether here in the States or overseas.
A great word. Let me just repeat what you said. Asian American youth ministry is not JV. Rooted is going to have a podcast dedicated to the Asian American youth ministry and have this roundtable where we're going to have discussions and topics. And if there's any discussion topics, things that you want to hear about, I'm not a panelist, but I am hosting this first 2 episodes. And I know Justin has already collected a list of 800 topics from Asian American youth workers. And so we have enough topics for 10 years. I'm Danny Kwan, the Senior Director of Youth Ministry Content and Cross-Cultural Initiatives at Rooted. The Rooted Asian American Youth Ministry Roundtable podcast aims to equip and empower youth leaders, parents, and churches in faithfully discipling Asian American youth students.
Subscribe at rootedministry.com.